Alright, I'm usually not the type to get involved in pissing matches on YouTube, and there's a fucking lot of them out there. And before anybody jumps my shit for being biased or whatever, first thing I'm going to say is I was a corrections officer for a year, so I know a little bit about it. I worked in a high-volume downtown city jail, and I definitely know what it's like. First of all, I'm making this video as a response to the video that this is being posted on, because I have way more to say than I would ever consider typing out. I just want to make sure everything sounds fair. So first thing I'm going to say is, just to clarify, in this video those are not cops. Those are members of the Sheriff's Department. Depending on the particular county, they might just be straight corrections officers. I haven't even looked into this yet, but first of all, they're not police officers. They're members of the Sheriff's Department. Whether or not they're ever active on the road or not is determined by their county. So this guy's saying, why didn't the other cop arrest him? It's because he's not a cop and he can't arrest him, because that's not what they're doing. They're corrections officers working in a jail facility, first of all. Secondly, and this is going to be a rude awakening to a lot of you guys, everything you saw in that tape, those were trained maneuvers from whatever Sheriff's Academy he went to. First thing he did after he broke in that door was he attacked a girl with a strong side forearm strike. That's unfortunately pretty common practice stuff. Everything he did was a trained maneuver by the Sheriff's Department. So when he writes that report, he's going to be able to write, I was suddenly assaulted by a shoe. I attacked with a Sheriff's Academy trained strong side forearm strike and proceeded to whatever. I don't remember what he did after that, but unfortunately everything he did was by the book, which is why he pleaded not guilty. He was suddenly assaulted in a correction facility and responded with state-trained maneuvers. And the reason those maneuvers are taught is because whether you're a little teeny tiny girl or a 350-pound linebacker, Coke machine looking motherfucker, if you get attacked, nah, you're trained for that stuff, because it's gonna make or break your life. The job of a corrections officer is mostly to have shit talked to you, shit thrown at you, and then rebuttal from society. Now, a lot of people throw around the term liberal or, you know, conservative or whatever. I'm probably one of the most liberal people I know, but the fact of the matter is, #1 rule of corrections is nobody gets hurt. As far as staff goes, you do not risk anything. So in most situations, there's extreme violence when an officer is assaulted, whether it's a shoe or whatever. Do I agree with what happened? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Personally, as a corrections officer, if that girl would have thrown a shoe at me, I would have slammed the door. I would have let her sit there. She looked like she hasn't even been booked yet. She wasn't changed over. Probably hasn't even been to the counter and had her paper signed or anything like that. She didn't look like she had her wristband on. She looked like she hadn't probably been fingerprinted or booked or anything. So I would have let her ass sit there for about 5 hours. I would have told the next shift, you know what, if you want a real fucking pain in the ass, right there, cell 3, let her sit, let her fucking stew about it. I wouldn't have done fucking nothing except write a report, maybe stick a little note on her door that says don't book. Unfortunately, this officer really overreacted, in my opinion, but what you're seeing is daily stuff. That shit happens all the fucking time in jail. If you don't want to go to jail, you know, there's a lot of ways to avoid doing that. Unfortunately, what you're not seeing is probably the 5 hours or so that led up to that sudden assault. That girl probably gave the arresting officer a lot of trouble. She was probably trouble in the booking area. She was probably trouble for a real long time before that happened. People don't just do that. That guy didn't just blow up. That girl didn't walk in the door and fucking flip a shoe and then he fucking went nuts. That girl fucked with that guy for a really long time, and then she finally assaulted him. He didn't just attack her out of nowhere. That was what set him off. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's right. I'm probably going to get 10,000 emails just condemning me to hell. But honestly, that's probably really what happened. And he didn't spray her. And you guys, you know what? And no one's going to agree with me on this. But I'm telling you right now, if that dude really fucking lost it, if he would have pepper sprayed her, she'd still be sorry. That shit sucks. And I was sprayed in the training academy. I know what that shit's like, and it doesn't stop hurting forever. So that was an option he had, and he didn't do that. And again, yeah, it was a big dude beating the shit out of a little girl. But the reason the other officer didn't compensate or anything like that was because he thought the other guy was still in control, but I don't agree with that either. We're trained in the academy to signal somebody when they're pushing the boundaries. When he punched her in the back of the head on the floor, that's totally unacceptable. That will probably make or break this case. I don't even know if it's still pending or whatever, but that, as a lawyer, that's what I would be really focusing on. That was completely unnecessary. But overall, unfortunately, a lot of the comments that I'm seeing on here are just grossly misinformed. And the only reason I'm making this tape, and if you've watched this long, the only reason I'm putting this up here is to at least put this in perspective. Because I don't think a lot of people have the experience to actually be able to really look at this professionally. So please just consider some of the things that I mentioned. Otherwise, if you really like metal guitar, watch some of my clips.